Hello everyone, welcome back to Tall Tales Custom Tackles. We're going to do a little bit different video today. I'm actually going to do an unboxing video for a TH Marine hydraulic jack plate. It just came in the mail. I've been wanting one for a little while, and I finally pulled the trigger on one this past week, so I'm going to do a little unboxing video. I might even do a video of me installing it. Anyway, I'm gonna put it on this Stratus bass boat. It ain't nothing special, but it's special to me. It's a Stratus 285 Pro XL. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I've had the cover off of it a while, so it's done got dirty and dusty, but she does everything I need to do. I actually right now it's got a 90 on it, which the Optimax 90 is a big engine. Even though it's only 90 horsepower, it is a massive engine, and it pushes this boat just fine. I think I can get a little bit better performance once I install the hydraulic jack plate. Where it's set on this one, top speed on it, I've got it up to, which is not bad for a 90 and this size boat, I've got it up to 46 miles an hour, which is not bad. The let's see, the other motor, and I'll show it to you in a second, it came with a Johnson 150 fast strike that I started having issues with, and I just got tired of sinking money into it, and I just decided to go ahead and buy this one. Even though this is a 90 and that's a 150 and both of them are two strokes, the 90 outweighs the 150 by like 20 pounds. I mean, it's just big. I can take the you can take the actual cowling off of this one and it will just go right over the top of that one. I mean, even though that's a 6-cylinder, this is a 3-cylinder. Pretty much everything on this one is bigger, basically, except for the foot. The foot is just a little bit smaller. It's got a little bit smaller prop, smaller pitch. Other than that, like I say, it does pretty good. The Johnson was a damn reliable engine. It still cranks up and runs perfect. It's just I started developing an issue, and I think I don't know, I took it to a couple of different boat shops. Took it to a mechanic over in a little local town down the road. They told me, oh, it was probably heat soak, done a little bit. It still didn't improve. Took it to another guy that's supposedly the best around. He done a little bit of stuff and it improved just a little bit, but I think it's the original fuel pump. The original fuel pump had went out on it, and it was gonna be like, here's the deal, I'd already spent about $2,500 on replacing everything. Pretty much everything on that damn engine has been replaced. And then when it came down to fuel, I just didn't want to drop another $500 just to try and see if it was the damn new fuel pump. Anyway, so I switched over and found that one at what I considered a decent deal. Bought it. Now I've had to do a few things to that one to get it right, but it's performing real good. Anyway, the Johnson pushed that boat roughly around, I get low to, I think the fastest I've ever got it trimmed up was around 65, which in my opinion is too fast for me, because most of the time I'm only running that boat about average about 30, between 30 and 40 is my average cruising speed. I mean, I'm not trying to win no races. Anyway, we're gonna get back into it, and see if I can set this camera up where you could get pretty much a decent angle. I'll just set it right here on the boat. I'll set it up right there for now. Once I get it open, I'll bring the camera back over. Of course, they seem the package is all right. And don't mind the shop being so dirty, because it's one of the things I use this building. I use it so much that it's honestly almost impossible for me to keep it clean, because by the time I really get into cleaning this thing, it's like a week later it's a mess again, because I'm steady working out here. But oh, she's nice and shiny. She look good. I think I'll set it down here and then pick the jack plate up. And the weight difference between the manual jack plate and this one right here is a pretty good amount. I mean, this thing right here weighs well over double what the manual jack plate weighed. I mean, it is definitely a lot heavier, but I made up for it by switching out the batteries. So now I'm running the blue top Optima battery, which is about half the weight of my original cranking battery. So I mean, I figured it'd even up okay. Give you a look at that one. Like I say, here's the old manual. I mean, manual's really done me real good over the last few years, but I just wanted to upgrade. Oh yeah, that's why it's so much. This thing is thick. That is nice. I'm excited for that. Yeah, I really thought about doing the blinker switch, you know, because I already have the C-Star hydraulic steering, and I really thought about adding the blinker switch, but honestly I don't see no need. I'm just gonna put it over here. I honestly, I'll probably put it right there. It looks like a good spot. I'll probably put it right there. We'll see. Once I get the wires ran, I'll actually sit up in here and see where the best spot is. But I'm excited. So what I'll probably do, I'm gonna end this video here in a minute. What I'll probably do actually is make I mean, you can find videos online on a few people installing jack plates. Most of them that I've seen are like actual shops, you know. They do it real quick. I mean, yeah, even though I bought this and these things are expensive, I am not rich by no means. Anybody that knows me knows I work hard for my money. I mean, I might spend my little bit of money, but I work hard for my money. So this is like budget friendly. I'll probably make a video of installing it. I mean, I won't make a long video of me actually taking the motor off and all that, because I mean, that's self-explanatory. I mean, I'll unbolt it, have it hanging up, and I'll probably just set the camera up and make a short little video of installing it. I'm not going to do it today. I just want to do a little unboxing. And I'll probably just join it with this. I mean, it might be a long video. I ain't made up my mind yet. I might just do a short video and then another one later. I'll figure it out later. Anyway, actually, when I bought this, I almost went with the C-Star hydraulic jack plate, just because, I mean, I like how things look when they match. You know, I know that sounds funny, but because I already had the C-Star hydraulic steering, and that's just, you know, it's kind of, I just kind of wanted it to match. But the reviews of the, you don't find many reviews on the C-Star jack plates, and you see a ton of them on the hydraulic jack plate. So I wanted to try it out. Man, that thing looks good, I'm telling you. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this video here in just a second. I don't know what else to say other than it's a project I'll start on today. I might actually just get everything moved around, go hook my tractor up, move stuff around, because I got to move the boat in here a long ways. I'll actually just back it in here a long ways and do it right here. Go ahead and get it off, and I can probably get everything off today, but I won't get the jack plate started putting on. But anyway, and for those of you that got questions about you know, why did I swap to a smaller engine, honestly, I was going to go with a 4-stroke. I had been looking for a 4-stroke for around my price range, and I just happened to come across that one, and I said, you know, a 2-stroke, I've always liked 2-strokes, but I wanted to just try a 4-stroke on it, and I was looking for around a 90 to a 115 Yamaha is what I was originally looking for, because I got a 50 Yamaha 4-stroke, and I mean, I love that thing. It's so quiet. But anyway, because everybody you see online, they try to get more horsepower. You know, like I said, I love that Johnson. It pushed this boat great. It had a hole shot. You could get up on plane in about 2 seconds or less. It just had an amazing hole shot. But once I got it up on plane, I just honestly drove the boat relatively slow. I mean, I don't cruise high speeds, but so I didn't need all that horsepower. But I didn't realize the Mercury Optimax was such a heavy engine for a 2-stroke. So therefore, I didn't really, going down in horsepower, I didn't lose no weight. But the one advantage there is my Johnson got about, it averaged about, honestly, about 3/4 of a mile to a mile, maybe a little better than that per gallon. That thing drunk fuel. That one is so, I've only ran it a little bit so far, and I can run upriver several miles and back down, and you can't even tell you've used any fuel in it. I mean, so it's going to be very friendly on fuel. So I won't have to have, I can save weight there by not running near as much fuel. Anyway, I know I'm long-winded, so I'll cut this off for now. But we'll come back when I'm actually installing the jack plate. All right, thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the part 2 of it. This is the next day. I actually unbolted the engine yesterday and slid it back. Today I went ahead and basically just got it prepped so you wouldn't have to suffer through, hopefully, a real long video. Like I say, I'm not gonna go like crazy long, you know, trying to demonstrate. I'm just gonna like show you little small steps of the process. Now throughout the video, if there's anything you got questions about, just shoot me some comments, or you can email my personal account, and I'll give that to you at the end of the video. But I'll show you what I got so far. All right, I got the old one off. I got the new one just sitting up. Basically, I just got it sitting up about the right height. Mainly, I'm just looking to judge where I want it, you know, bolted at, because on the jack plate itself, you know, it's got multiple levels, and I was just getting an idea of where I wanted it at. I think in the top bolt hole, that way I can still get a decent lift, but then I can drop it down low enough to where I can get good grip, you know, take it off in normal conditions. as far as the switch, you know, I still got to run all the wiring and all. As far as the switch, I'm honestly just gonna put it right here where the old ignition used to be. It'll actually cover up those two holes. I'm gonna put it right there, which will work fine for me. I honestly considered putting it somewhere over here, but I didn't really want to drill any more holes, you know, so right there worked just fine. Same with this. I mean, they really would prefer you to drill a hole through the back of your transom to go through, and I'm not gonna do that. There's enough. I measured it out. There's plenty of cable. I'm just gonna run it over the top and back into this, you know, back over here, because I just don't want to end up with any extra holes. On all these boats, they always come with like a, you know, bigger washers holding the bolts. I am a firm believer in making a plate on the back side. Every boat I've pretty much ever had, I've eventually went over to a, if I can do, for example, like my river boat or something like that, I'll do one big solid plate for the top and bottom. For this, on the other hand, because it's separated, let me see if I can get the, because it's separated, like this one would be up top. It just helps, it really just helps spread out the load instead of being, because these engines are heavy. I mean, this one's just shy of 400 pounds. That jack plate is 60 pounds by itself, so I mean that's a lot of weight on the back of pulling them bolts, and it can actually pull these bolts. Even with these washers, it can make them sink way in, and that's not good. So by using something like this, it actually spreads the load, and it saves your transom a lot of stress. So I had plenty of this metal laying around, so they actually sell plates you can buy. They're like $30-something a piece that's already made and designed for it, but I'm a firm believer in making my own and making it work. And we'll go over the wire once I got this done. I'm showing you this. I'm actually, the sun's shining. I'm not gonna set up the camera and try to, you know, bolt it in place. I'm gonna go ahead and, you see where it's at, I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it in place. Once it's bolted up, then we'll come right back and I'll show you how I'm doing the wiring. For one, now you got this right here, relay and all. Even though it's technically considered waterproof, it is highly recommended to either mount it or secure it in a location that will hopefully not come into contact with any water. I mean, that's the best thing. But we'll get back to that, and we'll come back as soon as I have the bolts in. For one reason, it's going to be awkward. If I had an extra person out here, like I say, holding the camera while I'm moving around stuff, that'd be one thing. But by myself, I mean, it'd be awkward trying to hold it and steady moving the camera angles and stuff like that. And so anyway, we'll just come back as soon as I got it bolted up. All right, welcome back. I just got it installed. I went ahead and bolted the engine to it just cause it's, I mean, I was gonna start the video again as soon as I got the jack plate on and then show you. All right, here I'm sliding the engine forward, bolting it up. But honestly, anybody that's ever fooled with this, they know just line it up where it's best as far as the height, because they got multiple, you know, bolt holes, so where it's the best to fit your needs and your boat style. So I just went ahead and bolted it up. I still haven't ran the wires like I'm going to, but they recommend as soon as you get the jack plate on to hook it up and just try it out. They actually recommend you for the first time just bump it a couple of times like that, mainly just in case it's bound up anywhere, you don't put stress on your hydraulic pump. But I done ran it up and down a couple of times. right there. And also, whenever you hear it actually basically bottom out, let go of it, don't keep on, because that actually send too much. You'll end up blowing your fuse, and you can also damage your pump. That's just, honestly, that's just what I call common sense. It's, you know, anytime you got something like that, it sends actually more amp load on the wire, and it'll blow the fuse. I think this one has a 40, so if you blow that fuse, you've been holding it for a while, or you got something wrong. Anyway, it looks real good. I think it's gonna perform really well. I believe it's low enough that I'll get, because that's actually a lot lower than what I had it to begin with. So that actually helped with the initial takeoff. And then once you get up, you can always, you know, I mean, right there is usually about where I kept it full time, but now I can adjust up and down. It will definitely help out in shallow water, because it goes up to 6 inches, and I mean, that is honestly right there. I should be all, well, I got the motor tilted just a little bit, but you can see I should be able to definitely run this thing in a lot more shallower water. Me and my dad got in a situation last year on a lake over in Tallahassee. I think it's called like, damn, I think it's like ammonia or something like that. Anyway, a little lake over there. It's shallow, got a lot of vegetation, a lot of lily pads in it. We did decent for the time of the year we went. Anyway, long story short, we got way off back there, and we ended up in a shallow area to where I had my Johnson 150 on the boat still, and without the hydraulic jack plate, I mean, all I had was the manual, but that's set one height. Anyway, we ended up having to use the trolling motor. Now, while we was up on plane, you know, we didn't realize it was that shallow when we was running back there, because while you're up on plane, you know, your engine's sitting and your boat's sitting high in the water column. But once we stopped and slowed down, I mean, we were in like 1 foot of water, and we ended up in a bind, because we actually ran the trolling motor battery dead, pretty much trying to, because we had to run, you know, probably a couple miles just to get deep enough where we could get up on plane, because the whole time it was like a foot point two. And these boats, they sit heavy, and it just wasn't. Every time you try to, and that Johnson is real quick on hole shot, so every time you try to get up, it just dropped real quick and end up in the, you know, you basically you'll end up messing the motor up. But anyway, with that there, with a jack plate like that, we could actually lift it up and just use the motor to pretty much idle us out of there, because it's not going to be hitting, you know. Anyway, I'm going to end this little section. I just wanted to show you that I actually have it on there, bolted up, looks good. I'm going to get the boat cleaned up also sometime this week, because I mean, it's killing me that it's so dirty. I mean, I try to keep this boat pretty well clean. I mean, my shop might be a mess, because I mean, I work out here all the time, but my boat, I definitely try to keep it clean. I always vacuum it after every use. But here the last probably the last couple months, I have been out here just constantly working on it, and I had it uncovered, so it's definitely done got dirty. But anyway, I don't know if I'll show the rest of this tonight. I honestly need to see what time it is. Anybody that knows me knows, you know, I work midnights, even though I do my little lure business on the side, making soft plastics and stuff. You know, I work midnight, so depends on what time it is, I'm gonna shut it down. But anyway, once I get the wires ran, I ain't fully decided where I'm gonna mount this at. Like I say, I got plenty of plenty of wire. I mean, I don't know why they recommend it because it looks neater if you got it running through the hall and nobody, you know, through the transom, nobody be able to see it. But I mean, I'm pretty country. I don't mind stuff being shown. It'll be just fine having it just like that. That there won't never get bound up. I'll run it through here. This I'll probably mount up under here somewhere, out the way where it shouldn't get wet. Run my wires on down, and like I say, I'm gonna install the switch right here. Cut a little notch out, put a little bead of silicone around it, and the switch will be right there. And then I will have this project done, and hopefully, hopefully, if time permits, I'll go try it out and see how well it does on the lake. Probably Tuesday. I mainly want to try it out on the lake. I usually run it up the river, but after this little hurricane just passed through, they got gates running, and it's just that river's up on a you know, it's running basically on a stampede. So anyway, adjust, figure out where I like it, and I'll actually make a mark, you know, where I want it as far as when I'm normal running. You know, even though it goes up 6, you ain't gotta jump it all the way up to 6, because most of the time, the higher you go up, the higher you got it trimmed, the higher you run your RPMs, you know. So get a pretty good idea where I want it at when I'm up and running, and because that'll be where it's set, you know. I'll pretty much only have 2 settings on it. All the way down when I'm taking off in normal, you know, normal conditions, and then, you know, whether it's 4, 5, or 6, you know, when I'm up and running where I want the maximum performance. Anyway, once I get the wires and everything run, I mean, I know some of you'd like to see the whole process of doing this, but it's pretty self-explanatory, honestly. The wires will just run right down this wall on the inside, panel going there. There's really nothing to wire up. I mean, everything it's color coded. The instructions tell you put this wire here, that wire there. You got 3 wires to hook up, and a positive and negative, and you're good to go. Anyway, I'll continue this video whenever I get everything done. I'll just show you the finished product. Hey, this is how it looks, and we'll try to end it without it being 2 hours long. All right, thank you for watching. All right, everyone, welcome back. It's actually been a couple of days. Just a quick recap. I had already bolted this on the jack plate. The sun's pretty bright, but anyway, I bolted this on. I really considered coming up with it a little bit more. These 3 notches on the inside for level wise. And I mean, I looked up what a lot of people was doing. Some people was leaving it right here, some was up here, and it's really only a small amount of I mean, if I would have went to the last one, it would probably been even up here. Honestly, I just left it in the first one. That gives me, you know, that gives me plenty of room. I put it in the second hole. I started to go to the top and bring it down a little bit more, but honestly, that is plenty. I mean, there ain't no need to drop it down no more, and I don't see no reason to raise it up no more, just because right there's, I think it's gonna be just right. I mean, raising the jack plate up and letting it down, I mean, you're gonna get it low enough in the water where you're gonna have plenty of grip. I mean, it's you shouldn't have no problem with the prop spinning out. I mean, it's gonna be able to go real deep, a lot deeper than what it was. I mean, I honestly never had it sitting that low, which is pretty nice. Give me a second. Anyway, you got the relays. I just mounted right here, which is actually, I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, the relays I put right here mainly because you don't want them getting wet. Even though there's a seal right here, you'll still, if you have water, a lot of water slosh in. I mean, sometimes when you're running your boat wide open, well, actually a lot of times if you're running your boat wide open and you just come to a sudden dead stop, that water's gonna slosh over in the back, and it actually, the seal comes up to here. I can run a seal the rest of the way up, but it's fine. It's really not much water, so that even that little bit of water should never wet this. Only time that will get wet is if you left your lid open and it rained. And this battery is, even though it's 1,000 cranking amps, it's still, there's so much room. I mean, as far as how small it is compared to the standard size batteries. Matter of fact, those batteries right there, I bought them new in 16 to run my 24-volt trolling motor. So I'm honestly gonna, whenever they go out, I'm not just gonna spend no money right now. I'll wait, but when they go out, I will actually go with 2 more of those blue tops. This one's a cranking. I'll go with the blue top regular deep cycle for that side. I mean, that will save a lot of weight for back here. Anyway, I'll shut this real quick and give you a little demo. The wire, I got the wire running through here, and I honestly, like I said, I put my switch right here. It's simple, convenient. I mean, I was gonna do a blinker, you know, at first, but there ain't no need. That will do everything I need. But anyway, it's, I mean, and I'll show you in a second, and you'll hear it when it gets to the top. Bam. As soon as you hear that, you're done. But I mean, if you notice how high that brings it, I mean that, see if you can see, I mean, that raises it way up, so I should definitely be all right. I mean, that is so much clearance. So yeah, I'm actually very excited about that. There's some shallow water, and you can see from back here, well, the shadow ain't showing. Basically only about this much is below the bottom of the boat. I mean, not much at all. So I can honestly run some shallow water, and with it all the way down, I can definitely, you know, get plenty of grip, you know, when I'm, and it's actually pretty fast as far as you're lifting up and down. Right in there, yeah, right in there, it'll hit the ground, so trim it up. And as soon as you hear that, you stop it. They also recommend when you trailering your boat, because I mean, you're gonna get a lot of bounce and stuff, to keep from having stress on your jack plate. You wanna run with it in the down position, never run it in the up position, which it makes sense. I mean, that's a heavy motor to be bouncing around. I mean, in the water, you'll get a little bit of bounce, but it ain't like driving on a rough road. I'm definitely gonna upgrade and go with a better, I've been looking at the Motor Mate, actually, the one that Timmy Horton advertises all the time. It looks pretty solid, so actually considering going with a Motor Mate, because the one I have, you know, it's decent, but I mean, I want to make sure, you know, I want to make sure everything's protected and not gonna bind up. So anyway, yeah, everything clears, and that's another reason I wouldn't want to drop this down no more, the motor onto this. I mean, if you tilt up real high, you'll start binding. Right there, they're not in a bind, but I mean, you don't want to take a chance of binding none of that stuff up. I mean, especially when you pay, you know, a lot of hard-earned money for this stuff. I'm actually going to try to take it out in the next day or so. Not today. I'm still going to run a few more wires. I got a couple more things I want to hook up I'll try to get to it today, maybe tomorrow, because everything else, I probably said it previously, but everything else was actually hooked up through the old engine. You know, the well, the temp gauge, the fuel, everything, tack, all that ran through. So I got to rewire all of that, and I'm gonna start on that probably today. If I don't do it today, I'll start on it tomorrow. I mean, hell, it's probably about I don't know what time it is. Probably about 11 o'clock in the morning. I worked, you know, I got off work this morning. I hadn't been in bed yet. I've been out here fooling with this. I didn't really mess with it yesterday, so I came out here and started messing with it today. Yeah, like I say, I got a few little wires to run, but I can run it without messing with them. So I might be able to run it tomorrow. And I might be able to get some video of it running. We'll see. I really don't have a good tripod for this GoPro, so we will see. I mean, I don't want to take a chance of losing. I might have to strap it to the seat and see. But anyway, no promises, but I might get some you know, get some video of it working. That's my intentions. That honestly would be a better fit for, you know, a video about a jack plate. Anyway, I'm gonna end this, and we will continue hopefully tomorrow or the next day. Sometime this week I'll have this video out anyway. All right, thanks. All right, everyone, welcome back. I'm out here on Lake Seminole. I shot across here because it's actually pretty choppy out there on the main. I'll let it down. It's actually pretty choppy out there on the main lake. I mean, it's not real bad, but you got probably a good 1.5 foot little swells, enough to bounce you around a little bit. You know, you ain't wanting to try to make a video of the jack plate because all that bouncing. Anyway, I'm gonna see if I can hold because I ain't got a real good camera. I mean, tripod. All I got is the little one that came with it. So let's see if we can. We got a little flat area right here. It's not real bad. All right, we're gonna give it a. I'm gonna see if I can hold it forward. Like I said, I'm holding it with my hand. I should have brought something to secure it with, but all right. Shut it down. But alright, because there ain't no need to talk while it's down running, because you won't be able to hear. So we can get up to a mid well, I say mid, low 40s out here in this open, about 43, close to that. I had the jack plate only on about 3. I mean, there ain't no need to have it all the way up, because you're running way too of high RPMs. So, because I tried it out there a little bit in the open before I started video, and just in that little bit rougher water, and it done real good on about setting number 3, which is a good height with it. On 3 and trimmed up, you about the best performance without over revving. I mean, this engine's only designed to go wide open throttle max at 5750. So on 3 with it tilted up, you hitting around 57 RPMs, 5700 RPMs, which is good for it. Any higher than that, trimmed up more, you hitting $6 grand, and you're hearing a little bit of, you can tell when your RPM's going too high and your prop's a little bit out in the water. You hear the sound difference, and it ain't worth it to me to do that and run your engine hot, or you know, I'm just not gonna do it. Honestly, that 40 something miles an hour is plenty fast enough for me. Even though the old Johnson, I could get you know, mid 60s in the Johnson. This one, if you can tell, it was slower picking up. You know, it takes about between 6-7 seconds to get up on plane, which I'm okay with that. That's a lot slower than, but you are talking about a 90 horsepower versus a 90 horsepower 3-cylinder versus a 150 horse 6-cylinder. I mean, so there's going to be a big difference. But anyway, I'm very pleased with how this 90 performs. See what that's what I wanted to see. With it up like that, I could definitely run some, because I won't never run it all the way up. I won't never run it with a jack plate all the way up trying to get high speed. I mean, well, matter of fact, there's a little canal right up in there, and there's one way over there on the other side of that little island that is real shallow water, and that is perfect because I can actually take and just idle through it, you know, because that Johnson, I just have it trimmed up, and you take a big chance of running one hot. So now I can take that jack plate, raise up, and do what I need to do. But anyway, I'm going to end this video. Hopefully with the other ones connected, it won't take an hour to watch. Hopefully it won't bore you too bad. Anyway, I'm just going to putt around a little bit. I hadn't been out here in a while. It's been a pretty good bit since I've been out here on Lake Seminole. It's actually about, I want to say it's about 11:40 in the morning, November the 4th. So anyway, I'm gonna ride around, look at a little bit of water. Like I say, it's been a while since I've been out here. So if you have any questions, any comments, suggestions, I don't know, just whatever, if you got anything you want to ask, leave me a comment, or you can always go to my Facebook page. You can go to my personal account, Eric Gilly, or you can go to my little Tall Tales Custom Tackles page and leave me a comment there, because usually you know, I don't get notifications on if somebody leaves me a comment on YouTube. So usually I just, every so often I go and check, so when I see one, I respond. But anyway, so don't think I'm ignoring you if you left a comment. It's been a few days. I'll eventually I'll run across it and see it. I try to check, you know, like I say, once every few days, week or something like that, I'll check. Anyway, if you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like it, if it's boring, I mean, I try not to be too boring. If it's boring, thumbs down. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Shit, that's what it's about. You won't find nothing but the truth on this channel. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time.